See, you can't just reboot a franchise from scratch anymore. The fans won't stand for it. Black Christmas, Child's Play, Flatliners. But you can't just do a straight sequel either. You gotta build something new, but not too new. It's gotta be part of an ongoing storyline, even if the story shouldn't have been ongoing in the first place. New main characters, yes, but supported by and related to legacy characters. Not quite a reboot, not quite a sequel, like the new Halloween, Saw, Terminator, Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, even Star Wars. It always goes back to the original.
Artificial intelligence is a subsect of the sci-fi genre that has existed since the beginning of the sci-fi genre. It has allowed us to explore the idea of humanity and what makes us human, while also talking about the dangers of humanity and what we are capable of. What I like about these movies is that they pose the question of what makes us real, what makes us different from a simulation. Are we just simulating the feelings in ourselves, or are we guided by something deeper? What if, instead of the artificial intelligence coming to our world and becoming sentient and having feelings and committing actions because of those feelings, what if we go to the computer's world? What is it like to be inside of a world generated by a computer? Is it terrifying? Is it beautiful? Is it vast and endless? Is it full of a million different possibilities? What if the computer programs in that world gained sentience and started to experience life in similar fashion to the life that we experience here? Only they are ruled by a computer program that wants order and stability. The question of what makes us human is given the answer of Imperfections by Tron Legacy. That it is our actions and ideas that are born not out of logic but out of emotion that make us human. I think my issue with the soft reboot is it takes everything that you loved about Legacy and everything you loved about the first Tron movie, and it throws it all away. All of it's useless. You don't need to watch either of these movies to understand anything that's going on. Tron Ares was a good film up until we saw Jared Leto's face. That is when the movie went downhill for me and potentially a lot of you in the audience. The beginning of this film posed some interesting questions and interesting ideas that could potentially be the building blocks for a good story, but ultimately it does not live up to any of the questions or expectations that are set at the beginning of the film. This film is mostly exposition. It is mostly set up, but not in the way of like a Dune film where it sets up for a bigger conflict and ends on a cliffhanger that leaves you waiting and wondering about the next installment. It's not suspenseful, it's not thrilling, it's not an action-packed adventure. It's a long-winded fetch quest where all the characters in the movie are after this MacGuffin-type item, but it becomes irrelevant because the main character breaks it, becomes the MacGuffin-type item, and then that becomes irrelevant because another character finds the MacGuffin-type item that was somewhere else all along and becomes the MacGuffin-type item. That's the movie in a nutshell for you. I don't have to do this long 5-minute explanation because that will tell you everything you need to know about this movie. For an action-packed movie, its action sequences are split apart, few and far between. Its fight sequences are short and forgettable. They try to do this cool bullet time, but it doesn't work because it comes off as staged for the trailers and not a part of the film itself. There are not many discs used in fights. They usually end up using guns or laser staff things, even though discs have been like the lightsabers of the Tron series and have been the main weapon that all of the characters within the grid or within the universe have used to fight against each other. All of this combines together to create this kind of lackluster watching experience when it comes in terms of the action, which is strange in comparison to Tron Legacy, which released in 2010, 15 years ago. The writing in this film is abysmal. The main character in this film makes Rey from Force Awakens look like she's giving an Oscar-worthy performance in comparison.
Those are going to be pieces of us in 3 different systems. What'd you do?
I bypassed the compressor.
Which is hilarious. Eve Kim in this movie is a lot similar to Anthony Ramos in Transformers Rise of the Beast in the way that she has the exact same facial expression for a majority of the movie. her only emotional depth being that she lost her sister to cancer. But the way that it's written and handled in the film is almost as if Disney themselves did not care about her character or her emotional depth or relation to the audience in any way, shape, or form. The dialogue in this movie is on the nose and full of exposition. They are literally explaining everything to you, how the characters feel, why they feel what they feel, what they are doing. It takes hand-holding to a whole nother level. The whole time I was in the theater, I was sitting there thinking, this is a blockbuster movie. Jared Leto's character is an AI who starts to discover human feelings and empathy and writing and poetry and decides that he wants to be human. He wants to experience these new feelings and experience what it's like to live on a physical plane and not a digital one. But the film does not explore it in any interesting manner or way like The Creator or Iron Giant. It does not explore these questions posed by this character's existence in this world and the questions that he has about existence. It's almost nonchalant in a manner, in the way that he's just like going with the flow and he doesn't have any questions about anything. He doesn't experience any emotional crisis or anything. It also poses questions of like expendability, what it's like to be a soldier. How does one feel knowing that they are here as basically cannon fodder? Is they are here to serve one purpose? Do they question that kind of purpose? Do they question their role in all of this? Do they question why they're being trained to fight against enemies that are not their own? It's there in the writing and the dialogue, but it's just not treated as if it's an important aspect of the film. To Disney and to the filmmakers, it is thrown to the wayside. It's just kind of like, oh, you see what we're doing here, right? Watch these characters chase each other for 20 minutes. I think this movie falls into the category of background noise. They say just enough so where you don't have to look up from your phone, and they explain everything and how they feel. When you do look up, you can see a couple of cool sequences so you can go, oh, this was interesting, and then go back to whatever you were doing. It's the type of movie that you put on while you're scrolling on TikTok or while you're cleaning your house or while you're working on your iPad, laptop. It's the type of movie you put on at a party and it's just running and everybody else is chilling out. I do not think this movie is a 10 out of 10 will see again. It is a 2 out of 10 never again. You do not have to actually be paying attention to understand what's going on, because at one point or another, a character will quite literally explain every single thing to you in a lengthy paragraph, and you will be able to be like, okay, cool. It is that type of movie that is made purely as a background noise type of film. It was not made for the big screen. It was not made to be a blockbuster. It was not made to make hundreds of millions of dollars. It was made to be put on the background while you sit on your couch and scroll on TikTok. Anyway, this has been a stellar movie, and I will see y'all another time.